Welcome to the Fire and Earth podcast with your hosts, Jason Mefford and Kathy Groover. Fire and Earth, giving you the keys to unlock your limitless potential.
Welcome to another episode of the Fire and Earth podcast. I'm your co-host, Jason Mefford.
And I am Kathy Groover.
And you got to do the longer intro this time.
I got to do the longer intro this time. Groover with the hands, jazz hands.
Just
for
hands.
not watching.
Jazz
So I just came back from the bathroom.
Too much information, Kathy.
I didn't say what I did in there. I just said I came back.
Well, I came back from the bathroom too, so there we go.
Okay.
I'll share too. Yeah.
God, we're like little children. And I was expressing to you, Jason, what a luxury it was now. So I just got married. We got married on April 14th, and we're in a very, 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 very small house. It's literally one big room with a loft. And so when everyone's like, where'd you register? Where you register? We're like, oh God, no, please. We don't need anything else. So we registered from some honeymoon funds and like scuba stuff and, things like that, which our next trip is paid for. People were incredibly generous in wanting to give us things that we wanted or needed for our wedding. And we did put some things on the registry: new sheets, new towels, new cookware. Why not? We're not going to buy the stuff for ourselves. And then those went really fast. And so we thought, well, what would be just a fun indulgence? And when Eric and I traveled to our favorite hotel, which is the Madonna Inn up in San Luis Obispo, they have heated toilet seats. And so I thought, what the hell? There is something I am not going to spend money on myself. So we are now the proud owner of a lovely heated toilet seat. And now I don't want to leave the bathroom, especially on chillier mornings in Santa Barbara. And, in reality, is it a treat? Is it an indulgence? It's something I wouldn't buy for myself. Same thing. I got one of those like supersonic jewelry cleaner things to make my diamonds all sparkly. I'm probably not going to spend $60 on a jewelry cleaner thing for myself. But this was one of those opportunities where we could register for these things and get gifted with things that are going to make our lives easier, more enjoyable, more happy, more indulgence. So I thought we'd talk about just these little things that we can do for ourselves every day or once a week that, yes, dear, I've got a cat who would like some attention. What are those little indulgences that we can add to our lives to make ourselves a little happier?
Well, I think it's interesting because, the word indulgent, right, makes it seem like that we're, indulgent, right? And that these are things that we're not supposed to have or
Right.
sort of thing. But I like to think of it too of, in trying to keep our lives simple, like you said, right? You guys are in a small space. In general, I'm just trying to or working towards making my life simpler, less stuff, less things, right? That for me, a lot of times the indulgences is about having something of quality that you love and you use until it's used up.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I'm sure everybody sitting there that watches our videos is like, well, there's Jason in that stupid sweater again, right? It's like he wears the same sweater every time. Well, when it's cold, I probably put this on. Why? Because it is my favorite sweater. It's easy, it zips up, it's nice and warm for the chilly mornings like this. And I only have one body, so I don't need like 15 different things per se, right?
Right.
But if you have something that you love, that you appreciate, that you're grateful for, and then you use it up, right? That's in one way a better use of your money, but also
Absolutely.
it is it's easier to be in that right position during the day. And so again, I'm going to give you a simple, silly example. Kathy was using, the heated toilet seat. And when I moved a year or so ago, I needed to get some new underwear. Okay. And so it's like, okay, well, the kind that I'd been wearing for a while, I just decided for whatever reason, I don't want that anymore. Right. But I didn't know what I wanted. I knew that I wanted, mostly cotton because things close to my skin, I like to have natural fabrics.
Yep.
That's just me personally. So cotton silk, wool, whatever I can have close to my body is what I want. And it's actually difficult to find mostly cotton or 90 or 100% cotton in underwear, right? Because usually you got to have a little stretch, and so you usually can't find 100%. So I started looking around and I found 3 different brands that kind of look like they fit because I like a certain cut. So I ordered, these 3 different brands, and I started wearing them. And there's some that what would be nice actually is if all 3 of them, if I could combine
Combine them.
all of the best, things that I like into the one, but you can't. So anyway, but I realize, that there's particularly one of the brands that I got that I don't like. When I put them on, it just something isn't just right with it. So usually, I'd kind of put them at the bottom of the pile.
Yep.
Right. But then you get to the bottom of the pile and then you're doing the same thing again. Right. And so it's like instead of, going through and wearing that uncomfortableness and feeling that way or feeling about the underwear that I'm wearing for the day, that's probably going to put me off a little bit during my day, it's better to just get rid of it
Yep.
and buy the things or have the things that you love, right? That way, when you put it on, you love it. You love the way it feels. I got taught this early because I used to wear suits a lot. And one of the guys that I knew was that he owned his own men's clothing company, and they would do custom suits and everything. And he would tell us, and this was back 20, 30 years ago, right? So the numbers, were even more egregious back then. But he's like, look, you can go buy a $500 off the suit, off the rack suit. Probably not going to fit the best.
Right.
You can pay $3,000 for a custom suit. And his point was, it doesn't matter how much the piece of clothing costs. What matters is your cost per wear. And so if you buy, and I'm guilty of this, where I've gone and bought a suit and it just doesn't quite fit right. And so I wear it once or twice and that's it.
Yep.
Other ones that you just love, right? And so it's like, where in our lives can we have some of these indulgent type of things? I mean, you sit on the toilet every single day, right? It's like,
I do my best.
But things that we're using all the time, our bed,
Yeah.
right? The shoes that we wear, the clothes that we have on, right? It's, the toilet seat, little things like that. Where can we kind of pamper ourselves a little bit or help us to feel better about ourselves, feel better about the situation that we're in, instead of kind of getting out of sorts, like, having your panties in a bunch, right? Because they don't fit quite right.
And I love that you use that as an example, right? So if you're listening to this and you're like, well, I don't have $120 for a heated toilet seat. I don't have $3,000 for a new suit. I totally get that. You can indulge in things and you can create an environment for yourselves that doesn't have to cost a lot of money. The sheets that we now have on the bed, these are not, 1,000 count Egyptian cotton, $700 sheets made by, silkworms in Bangladesh. And, it's none of that crap. These are $30 sheets off Amazon, but they're so comfortable, and it's like, we specifically, like, we had an old mattress pad, one of those like mattress cover things that wick water, and so if you spill something or if you get a little too excited in the middle of the night, it doesn't stay in the mattress. And the thing was so stretched out, it would start to undo itself. And I am so, Capricorn is so fussy when she sleeps. I don't like anything bunched up under me. I don't like that feeling. Like, I like a really tight bottom sheet. And this mattress pad that showed up with Eric when he moved in here, it's just so stretched out and so old. It was starting to fray. Like, why am I sleeping on this? Like, I'd make the bed and 2 days later, it was so bunched up under me, I couldn't sleep properly. Get rid of it. Freaking throw it away. So that's what I did. I got rid of it and I got us a new one, and it was $12. So, I mean, again, it's like, if you're not happy with something, why are you suffering through that? And I know there's the clean plate club and that you don't throw it away until it's so worn out you can't stand it anymore kind of mentality. And I'm not saying to just go through your house and start willy-nilly throwing stuff away and putting it in landfills, because that's not good either. And having said that, where are places that you can make yourself a little happier? And, I work off a laptop. I've got a desk that is an old sort of like modern version of a roll top desk. And my computer was too low when I was typing. And so what did I do? My computer sits on a yoga block. I didn't spend, $108, $1,000 on this, pneumatic desk that raises and lowers. I've got a yoga block that has 3 heights, or I can take it away and it's flat on the desk. But that didn't work for me. So it's like you can find things in your environment to help you take care of yourself more. And I encourage everybody to do that. And if you have the money to spend, go get a heated toilet seat. It's seriously like the greatest thing ever. It
Well,
doesn't even need to blow water up your hoo-hoo. Just get the heated toilet. It's a dream.
and then just figure out what it is that is that indulgent or that thing that makes you feel good for yourself. I mean, it could be making a cup of tea or a cup of coffee every day if that's what you really enjoy, right? And it's like, and again, not to spend a bunch of money, but
Yeah.
it's probably better to have one really good cup of coffee that you sit and savor
Yeah.
and really enjoy than drinking 5 cups of something that tastes like motor oil,
Yeah.
right? But each person is different, but you can all, start looking for, that equivalent of the big comfy sweater or whatever it is that when you put on, you feel good about yourself, that you feel like it's a little bit of an indulgence because whether you realize it or not, it's a little bit of self-love.
Yeah. And maybe and I was just gonna say, maybe it's an experience, not a thing. I mean,
Mhm.
my deal with myself was every time I would go to Vegas for a conference when I was speaking, I would treat myself to a 5-star meal. Now, I can't do that 30 times a year and I can't do that every week, but I went to some of the top restaurants in Vegas and I had chef dinners where they would just keep bringing me things out. And because I was 99% of the time there by myself, the sommelier would come out and talk to me and give me special wine. And I got to try this great new port. And, the chef would come out and bring me extra dessert. And, it ended up being such an incredible experience that I will never forget. And I'm not still hanging on to the thing, but I'm still hanging on to that experience of how luxurious and how um just impactful that experience was. So I'm much more an experience person than a thing person. Yes, I love my heated toilet seat. But I love the fact that we did dark dining when we were in Vegas last time.
Mm.
Complete pitch black. I mean, what an experience. We did the zip line, we did a hike through the canyon, we did, maybe that's how you indulge yourself, is you give yourself an experience that is going to be unforgettable for you.
Yep. Yeah, and whatever it is, just find something,
Yeah.
and because as we start treating ourselves a little bit better, giving ourselves a little bit of time, doing things for ourselves, right? Then we're effectively doing like what the person did that gave you the toilet seat, right? It was a thoughtful gift, something that, makes you feel good and warm. And we can find things like that in our own lives, even if it's little things that don't cost a lot of money, or go buy a custom suit, or I'm looking at some new boots that, again, the price of it is a lot of people might look at it and say you'd spend how much on that, but they're the kind of boots that I could wear every day and probably wear for 10 or 20 years,
Right.
right? Because it's like old school stuff.
Right. Well, and I love what you said about it's not about how much it costs, it's about how much it costs per wear.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that you said that because that's such a good point. If it's a $4,000 suit and you wear it once every 6 years, if it's a $6,000 suit and you wear it every day to work or to the events or to the castle every weekend, or then it's worth that investment. And maybe consider, now that we've indulged in ourselves, go get a heated toilet seat. I suggest maybe treating somebody else. And that was one of the great things about having this wedding registry is Eric's friend who got me the little supersonic or hydrosonic, whatever it's called, jewelry cleaner, wrote on the gift card, I always wondered if these things worked. I know this is the sort of thing you don't buy for yourself. I hope you enjoy this. And he recognized this is not something you're going to buy for yourself. So I want to treat you this. I want to give you this thing that I know you're going to enjoy, that is sort of a luxury that you're not going to get yourself. Eric and I do this to each other all the time. Maybe it's just a nice meal or a little heart. I leave little heart notes around the house for him to find, and just treat people in that way as well.
Yeah, because it's and that's a great way to think from a gift giving perspective too, because a lot of people are that way. They want something or they would enjoy something, but they would never buy it for themselves. So maybe help them, show them a little love, and help them feel better about themselves too. So
yeah. Yay. Cool. Another amazing conversation. All right. I am Kathy Groover. I can be reached at kathygruver.com.
And I'm Jason Mefford. I can be reached at jasonmefford.com. So go out, find your indulgence this week, and enjoy. And we'll catch you on the next episode. See ya.
See ya. I'm going to go back to the bathroom.